Hey, brother, just wanted to touch base with you real quick, see how things were coming along. I know you're going to be out of pocket this week, and I didn't know how you were doing in getting some videos, whether or not you were able to make it or if we need to kind of push things back a little bit.
Hey Joshua, timely question, man. We knew it was going to be tight. You and I both knew that we were going to be pushing it down to the wire. That if I was going to get all these videos done before I left, and I didn't. I just couldn't. With all the craziness of life going on, I was only able to stay up with maybe 1 to 2 days out. Therefore, do you think we could take a pause or something until I get back from this trip? I've got them filmed. I just need to edit, and we can get back in the flow.
Yeah, I think that's fine. It actually might help me out anyways because I've got a very busy week and I was going to be kind of tight on doing some editing. Yeah, let's just go ahead and do it. I've got tomorrow's video coming out. When will you have that one coming out? Because then you can drop that and then we'll just kick off and resume from there if that sounds good.
Here's my best guess. I think Sunday would be the earliest that I could release a full video. Will that work for you?
Yeah, let's do that. So I'll have my episode 15 coming out on Tuesday. You've got your episode 15 coming out on Sunday. And then that very next day, Monday, we got our last 10 videos coming out.
Sounds good, man. Thanks for looking out.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the vlog. Joshua Verwers here. This is my lovely wife, Genevieve. If you haven't met her, say hi, Genevieve. Today we are answering a question that John Hayes sent, and I sent it over to Jared, and we did a little Instagram back and forth. It looks something like this. Hey Jared, John Hayes sent us a question, and I think we should tackle that in a vlog. He wants to know how our view of Christmas has changed over the years. Did it differ from before we were saved, to when we were first saved, to when we started pastoring, and to now? So let's tackle that, wouldn't we?
Ooh, that's an excellent question. Joshua, tell him pip pip cheerio and thank you for the question. I'm going to get on it.
So John's wanting to know how our view has changed from before we were saved to when we were saved to when we first started pastoring to where we are now. There's a few different iterations, but I just kind of want to grab the two of before we were saved to when we first got saved and first started pastoring to now. Because for me, the space in between these two wasn't that much, and I don't remember any of it. Okay, so for me, my view on Christmas really didn't change from before I was saved to when I got saved, and a large part of that is because I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up with grandparents being pastors, and because of that, I always knew the true meaning of Christmas, and it was never a second thought. But you didn't grow up the same.
No, I didn't grow up in a household that knew the Bible or went to church. I think for me, it wasn't that our Christmas was revolved around Jesus or the Bible, but it was always a joyful time. I remember, Christmas for us growing up was a big deal.
For me, listening to a lot of your viewpoint and how it was before and how it was after, before, Christmas had a lot of gifts and a lot of giving. And then after being saved, it was all about the gift, not the many gifts.
Absolutely. Like growing up, it was like you would only see like the top half of the Christmas tree.
Right.
Like
right.
people think it's a joke.
So many
like,
presents around.
the tree was big itself, and then like half the tree was full, and then you would only see the top part because the rest would be, and it would like not just be like the front of the tree, it would like go all the way around. And it sounds like we had a lot of gifts, but we didn't. But it was just bigger items and a lot more people.
You had a ton of gifts, but it's because there were a ton of people there.
Absolutely. So it looked like we were like individually was getting more than what we got, but it wasn't that. And then now it's again about Jesus, not so much about what we're getting or what we're giving.
Okay, so the next part of John's question that we're going to address is how our view of Christmas has changed from when we started pastoring to now. In the last 12 years, how has your view of Christmas changed?
I think it's still the same for me. That of course it's around Christ, but I think for me I've grown to love it more. I'm basically a big kid. So I don't know. I think it's just changed for more of finding more joy as I get older and doing silly things, but still not taking my
Right.
focus off of what it truly means. So.
Yeah, and I would say a similar thing for me. I mean, if we go back, talking about 12 years ago, Reagan being born, we can go back to even, say, 8 years ago. Reagan was 4, she's in preschool, and when I go to pick her up from preschool, I had a conversation with her teacher talking about how Reagan had a conversation with 2 other girls and told them that Santa was dead, because that's what her daddy told her. And that was one of those things of me being so dogmatic in I felt my role as a pastor was a professor. I really felt like I had the role and responsibility to educate the entire world about how they were having a wrong view of what Christmas really was. And Christmas is Christ Mass. It's the festival and celebration of the Lord our Savior's birth. And anything that does not line up with that must be struck down. But now I'm at that place where I'm willing to actually put that Santa Claus outfit on because I realize that I have a bigger role as a pastor, and it's not about necessarily educating people all the time. It's about really shepherding them, and it's about me just trying to share God's love. And sometimes people can't see God's love through a preacher, but sometimes they can experience God's love through St. Nicholas, Sinterklaas, Santa Claus. And so I've kind of come around to the point where I haven't forgot that it's all about Christ, but I am now in a place where I am willing to use anything that the world has and the world wants to highlight to draw an illustration similar to how the Apostle Paul would walk in and say, "Oh, I see all of those altars you have built for these gods, but you see that one over there that is to the unknown God? Let me tell you about him." Yeah. And I can take that approach when people look at me and say, "Wait, you dress up in a Santa costume, but you're a pastor?" Yeah, let me tell you about the real Santa Claus. And then we've got you that goes down that similar path of wanting to create lots of joy and just have fun. And you're Mrs. Claus. No.
I have turned myself into a human elf on the shelf. So I'm not the little fabric doll that everybody gets. I am the real version. My kids get the real life version of Elf on the Shelf. They know it's me, but we always jokingly talk as myself in the third person, just because it's more fun.
So I would say we've gotten to a place now where our outlook and viewpoint on Christmas is really about bringing joy to as many as we possibly can.
Right.
And if you think about this season, if you think about Christmas, you think about all of the strong biblical Christmas carols that we sing, how many of them talk about joy? And so for us, I would say that our view has kind of changed over the years from just being about his birth to then going about not receiving gifts, but the gift, to now a place of what was that gift all about? And it's about joy. And how can we spread the same joy that Christ brought?
Yeah.
Anywho, that's all we've got for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed that. I hope it encouraged you. I hope it entertained you. I hope it edified you. I hope it did something for you. Aside from make you fall asleep because it was boring. If it did that, sorry. I'll try better next time. Oh, and speaking about next time, until then, stay blessed, enjoy God's best, and I really did see Mommy kissing Santa Claus. But if we stay about right here, or right here, then we should be good. Just make sure you're looking right there and not up there. Because I saw your vlog the other day.
I know,
and you're
I was doing so good, and all of a sudden I looked up and I'm like, what am I doing? Why was I looking up? I have no idea. Why am I looking up?
Probably because you're attracted to yourself.
I'm so pretty. I'm so pretty. No, I don't know.
What does Diana call you? The selfie queen?
I'm the selfie queen. I'm flawless.
Oh, yes, the flawless selfie queen. Yes. Santa's dead.